Hello and welcome to Bitsbox World, Builds Made Easy. Hi there and welcome to the channel. If you're here for the first time, you're really welcome. Any returning viewers, hello. So as you see there, I bought something from Green Stuff World. I'll reveal that later, but before that, I need to prepare some models. And I've got this awesome new tool. I'm really liking it, but you have to be super careful with that. Reminds me a little bit of the dentist. Puts my teeth on edge a little bit, but when doing lots and lots of sort of scenery making or preparing models or cutting them up, it's really made things quite quick in comparison to using, say, a Stanley knife or a saw. And you just have to put up with the sort of grinding sound. But you can see really nice cut here on this resin base for a model that I bought. And I wanted to make it a square base because I've been doing a lot of the old worlds. And in particular, these models that I'm preparing, they're going to be some orcs, some orc chiefs for my daughter's old world army. She said to me, can I have a go at preparing some and making them, because she wants some really cool generals, and she wanted some female characters as well, some women orcs. So I bought a couple, and I did buy a couple of sort of cool looking blokes as well for her army, but these ones are really nice. They're D&D models, and they're made of resin, and yeah, they look really cool, but weren't on a square base, as you can see. So I made this sort of stone effect on the edge with my new cutting tool, cutting it out of the circular base that it came on. But she looks really awesome. Looking forward to painting this one up for my daughter. And then, as I said, just getting some general models, and these are all resin. You can find them in various places on the internet, eBay or even Temu. And I'm really looking forward to sort of painting these up, getting them ready. This is one that I bought and have sprayed black. And I'm going with a black undercoat now. I used to go with a white undercoat when painting in the conventional way. I would start off with white, and then I would build up off that with the different colours that I'd be using and different shades that I would be painting. And it took me absolutely ages to paint a model. I was doing about one model every 5 hours, which is a ridiculous turnaround. But I'm now going with a black undercoat and doing a bit of a dry brush over that to give it some highlighting. And then I've tried using sort of contrast paints before, and I've only ever used Citadel paints, never used anything else. So buying from a different company, buying from Green Stuff World, is gonna be a new experience for me, and I'll show you that, as I said, later. These here, I've got some Citadel paints that I'm going to use for my undercoat, for my dry brushing, and I've got white, Corax white, and then also a grey. I really like this grey actually, Administratum grey, really nice. And I was going with a 3-step highlight up, but someone really kindly in the comments of my slab chop video, you can go back and watch that one, they said, why are you bothering with a 3-step highlight? You only actually really need to go with 2. And also, don't dry your dry brushes onto paper towel, because it kind of goes a bit chalky and it picks up some of the paper towel. So the great thing about this hobby, the great thing about sharing videos and my journey, is people are really kindly providing their insights, and then I can pass that on to you. So please do comment in the comments. I do read every one. I try to reply, and I'm really thankful for the community that is building up. It's been really awesome. And having said that, if you haven't subscribed before, why not think about subscribing today? That would be really awesome. So as you can see, using a bit of grey, starting off with the dry brush and only using downward strokes. Otherwise you might as well undercoat them in grey, because you'll be filling up all of the gaps. So I'm coming down, but I am doing a sort of rotation downward stroke as well, so in circular sort of motions, and that stops it being streaky from what I found. I didn't want streaky lines, and you really do start to capture all of the bits and bobs on there, all of the raised sections. I really do love though how when you are doing this dry brushing, certainly on detailed models, it really does start to bring out the elements of the design in the model. I really love how it's sort of the black, it all blends into one, and then you start to really see the definition of that model. These dry brushes that I've got as well, they've been a real game changer, because I used to use just normal paint brushes and get them nice and dry. You can do that, but I found that these have been one of my favourite buys, and really added to my arsenal with my my ability to paint. And going with a bit of white, this is going to be less paint than I was using with the grey, because I don't want to just cover all the grey, and I'm just grabbing right at the edges, so I've got a nice white highlight right at the edges where the light will be mostly hitting. And I've really loved using this new painting technique. It's given me some greater incentive to get my pile of grey shame on my unpainted models and actually get them ready and painted for the battlefields. I've really been enjoying my painting of late, and it's due to actually being able to see more and more of my models painted to a standard ready for war. What I've also been doing as well, I have been buying models from other places. So I was a bit of a Games Workshop Warhammer purist. It was the first hobby that I got into with my models, and please don't hate me, please don't stop watching the video, because I've branched out now, and I am buying models from other places as well. And what I've found is it's really expanded my love for this hobby, because there's so many great model providers out there, and it really can add some bespoke elements to your armies and really make them look awesome. And actually you can mix and match, no one's going to care, and it really expands your army into a way that you like. But there we go, let's get into Green Stuff Worlds. I'm not sponsored by these guys in any way or shape, and I just wanted to try out some new paints. So I found them and saw them and thought, let's give this a go. So Green Stuff World, if you did want to send me anything, feel free. that would be absolutely fine. But let's have a look at what I bought. So I decided to go, because I've been using contrast paints, I decided to use some dipping ink paints from Green Stuff World. They're meant to work, I believe, in the same way as contrast paint. So it's sort of a speed paint, a one paint solution, where you can just run it over the model and it goes into all the recesses and makes all your highlighting in one go. So I bought a variety of colours, and I didn't buy a blue. That was the one that I regretted most when I got into using these. But I did buy a variety of different colours, not many, because I wanted to try them out first to see what I thought. And they're called dipping inks, and I've gone for a couple of greens, a brown, a red, yellow, and sort of a linen whitish colour. All the colours that you would need for orcs, I think. And they're really not that expensive, actually, these ones. They're cheaper than Citadel paints. And yeah, let's give them a go. So a couple of drops, comes out really, really nicely. The application of the bottle is awesome. And I'm going with this sort of acid green, I think it's called, to start off with. So I used 4 drops. 4 drops. And let's see how it goes on. Oh, brush is a bit funky, a loose, frayed, loose frayed bit there. You can just rub that out. And let's give it a go. Okay. Yeah. So far, so good. You can see the highlighting there and the sort of acidy dark green going into the recesses. And the thing that I actually found with this is, in comparison to contrast paints from Citadel, the paint or the ink is a lot wetter, and it really does pool in those recesses. And as I was using this as well, I realised that if you picked up, I mean, it seems simple now, but if you picked up a lot of paint on the brush, then you could pool it in certain areas and make areas a lot darker when painting. And then if you only picked up a little bit on the brush, then you could apply a really quite thin layer onto those areas as well. But then certainly if you pulled it into corners with quite a bit, just come back later before it's dry, pick it up with your brush and just move it around. But I really like this. Really like this. And I've not used inks, as I've said before. I've only used contrast paints, was the closest that I've used before. But this, I don't know. I think this is going to be fast becoming one of my favourite techniques for speed painting. And I really like painting models, but as I said, it takes me so long to do, and I'm okay, but I'm not amazing. But this I really like. You can tell probably by my high praise. Really good, really good. And you can see it starts to pick out all of that awesome detail in the muscles, in the face. Wow. I got this brown colour as well, Elfwood brown. I paint a lot of elves, and I thought that could be, in the name, good for some elves later. But I like this sort of leathery effect as well. So I'm going to use this for the fur that are just on these models. And yeah, so far, really like the brown as well. Looks really nice on this fur type bit. And if I was painting, I don't know, beastmen or something, I would probably use this for their fur effect. Looks really cool. Look at that green though. I'm super happy with how that green looks. How it's run into all of those recesses. One of the other things that I found as well was if you paint over some of the dry brushing area with the wrong colour, say you just touch on the edge or something, you just make a mistake. If you get a wet brush, bit of water, you can rub away some of that mistake as well. Now this red, I find the contrast paint that I use for reds, you can see in one of my other videos, I'm not massively impressed with contrast red, because you might as well have used just normal red and painted up in the conventional way, because it just covers the whole area and doesn't really give a highlight, in my opinion. And I might be using it wrong and someone can correct me, but this red, it looks super thick to start off with, this dipping ink red. But what I found was just trust it, go with it, because when it dries, it looks awesome. Where it went from this position of being really, really thick, actually it dries really well and makes a really nice red effect. And these guys look great. Not finished yet by any stretch. I'm gonna do a bit more on them as well, paint up some of the metal, and I need another brown as well. So whether I go and get another brown from Green Stuff World or I use my contrast, I don't know. But I'm super happy with these, really, really happy with them. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this work in progress, and thanks for joining me today. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching Bits Box World, Builds Made Easy.